One of the things that I'm starting to realize as I make my first larger game is that even though you've spent 10 years learning how to code, a bunch of years learning how to do 3D, a bunch more doing pixel art, there's one thing that a game needs to have, otherwise it's not really a game, and that is, it needs content. It needs to have something for you to play. It can't just be a room with enemies that you shoot at. So we've made all these systems and we have them all in place, but we still need to put them together to create content for the player to actually move through and actually play the game. Otherwise, it's just a sandbox, and that's not what we're going for. In my game, I want to make sure that there's room for player expression, even if it is just a little bit, to be able to find and equip things that you can use to slightly alter the way that you play. We've got a basic attack, but on top of that, we're also going to have mods that can alter movement abilities, and in the last few weeks, we've been working on adding secondary abilities that the player can use, like a massive barrage of missiles or a huge laser. Now, I've got all the systems in place, but there's one big problem. We need to make the abilities, and we need to make the mods, and I also need to make levels, obviously, and draw everything, instead of just using a few frames from my damage animation. So our next goal really is to build out the levels. We need to do some additional animations and maybe add one or two more abilities. We also need to make a path from the start of the game to the first boss, so we can really start to get a feel for how this game works as a Metroidvania, rather than just a room with a few enemies. Then I should be able to have something that I can put together for you to play and tell me if it even is any good as a Metroidvania. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're streaming development on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, 6 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, I will see you there. Hello, how we doing? Agent Froggy, hey, welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you for a while. Weren't you in the UK? How you been? Nice, dude. Moving some stuff around. Okay, so I might have gone a bit crazy. Also, I'm not like centered in the shot. So, last week I was struggling with elevators and moving platforms, and one of the things that was sort of like becoming very apparent is that like these things can get really complicated if you want them to. And so on Sunday I set out to create one of the most complicated moving platform classes that I've ever made, which is kind of ridiculous. It's one of those things where it's just like, man, it's just a moving platform. But then like, you kind of need to have something that can be flexible. So I'm going to try to implement that today. I haven't put it into the main project. I was just doing it on a side project, which I can open up. I've had that already. Oh, it's not even in my... But yeah, so like, I've spent way too much time on this, but I think it's going to be worth it because like the current system is like, it's okay, but it can be better. And it can be basically for like any kind of platform rather than just like this one specifically works with buttons. The new one is going to be able to work with any kind of like trigger point. And so like we'll be able to create ones that you might just step on, that you might like have to do something else to get moving and all that kind of stuff. The only thing I haven't done yet, which I think would be helpful, is like ones that you need to unlock. So we'll have to do that as well. The background music just went down 12 dB. It's funny you said that right as I was like, oh, I forgot to do the level. Okay, so let me just find this project so I can copy it. Development projects, Godot, 2D character controller, project, here we go. So this is like an old 2D template that I think you can download it from my website. I'm not too sure, honestly. I haven't thought about it in a very long time. But So if I go to the example elevator level, this is essentially what I was thinking about, was like, you should be able to like have any number of buttons and any number of platforms and any number of directions and all that kind of stuff. So this is like the new, you're going to just be able to, if you press like another button, you'll go back the other way, or you'll go this way. And say, for example, I just got to remember, because the key bindings are different for this. You like are here and you want to trigger this, you know, oh no, gonna play on a null value. It broke. I broke it already. How come request elevator and then play requested? Ugh, it's so annoying. My example. It just needs that to be assigned. Is that it? Classic. Let's get back up here. I've started with locking a bit more on Godot. I've started Bracky's 1 hour script tutorial to get to know the basics. Nice, dude. So yeah, you can press this button and it should come back. And then same over here, we've got like one that you just walk on and it'll just start moving. It goes very quickly. And this is pretty good. And this button that you walk on will bring it back. Just takes me away straight away. So yeah, that's what we're going to try to create. I'm just going to put this off to the side because I need it for notes. So the current system that we have is not that different. It probably is a little bit, it's too like, the elevator is one thing, and I want to make it so the elevator is just like, sort of more modular so that I can create different kinds of moving platforms with it. That is not what I wanted to do. Stream manager. So, and the other thing as well that I worked out is remote transform is actually like pretty key. You aren't supposed to put your animatable static body inside the path follow 2D. You have to put a remote transform and then link that to the platform. Otherwise it's like no good. So the more you know. So basically, how am I going to do this? I need to create a new object type, but it's going to have all the old ones. So let me just delete some stuff. So we've got the elevator. I'll just call this elevator old. That's going to break everything. Actually, why don't we just make the new one elevator new and then do the transfer once it's done, and we can delete all this stuff and we don't need it anymore. That's probably way better. Much, much better, I reckon. So what we'll do here is create a new scene. Is this just in objects? Like, where does this exist? Can you like right click? Show in file system, thank you. Oh, it's in the world. Elevator. Yeah, I'm gonna create a new folder called elevator because it's like you need multiple objects. So excited for Subnautica 2. Were you in the Discord saying that you pre-ordered it? When does it come out? I know someone was there saying that. Yeah. 1 AM tomorrow? Damn, that's great. I'll just turn the fan on. Is it, the last game was early access too, right? But full release is expected in a few years, yeah. Normal for them, I think. I'll just call this one elevator 2, who cares? Actually, technically this is the elevator track. Is like, I'm splitting it up because you have a track and this is literally just a path 2D and then a path follow 2D. That's literally it, because the rest you can just bring in later. Oh, I suppose technically as well, you just put the remote transform in here as well. So that's like the actual structure of the scene. And then the rest is like whatever. And in the other one, I just had it in the path, but I think actually I'll put the script on this. And inherits saved in elevator track, create. And this one will be, I guess I can just call it the elevator track. And then we'll just get access, sounds like a New Zealander, access to the nodes, export path 2D. 2? Huh? Oh, I forgot the var part. I always do that. I don't know why, I've been coding for so many years. And that's a new thing that I'm forgetting. Does that ever happen to anyone else? Like, I will start to make mistakes that I've never made before. Like, consistently make those mistakes, even though, like, I never used to make those mistakes. Weird. In Lua, he's like, why am I doing this? Path 2D. Path follow 2D? Idiot. Okay, let's go. Save that, and then you can just assign these. Then we have those variables. I need to look at my notes now, because I don't remember shit. I've done this in 2D and 3D. That's how obsessed I became. It's like, I'm going to do this in every single system I know. What's the point of exporting a variable? Wouldn't it be easier to do it in the script? So there's a bunch of different ways you can do this, and it really just comes down to preference. So when it comes to like getting a variable, I prefer to use export, because that means that I could, if I wanted to, change the path and it won't actually break the link, right? However, if you wanted to, you could also right click this, click access as a unique name, and then hold control, and then drag and drop that, and you'll get on ready path 2D, right? Should the D be lowercase? I guess it should be. Or you can just control click and drag it, and you'll get on ready path follow 2D and the path. Those are sort of the three options you have. And you can also just like get it in the moment as well if you want. So that is like an option. If you want, like, it really just depends on how you want to get it. I prefer this way, although I do tend to forget about the actual to actually assign them. See, that dropped. And before I had like literally an error because I forgot to assign the variable. Right, so okay, so we got an enum that we need to create, right? So a direction, right? The elevator has a direction, and it's either going to be I'm using forward and backward, because technically it can be left and right. Alexi Cesium, welcome, welcome, welcome. And then just an export. This should be at the top of the script, by the way.
Does this work?
TTS is working. Hey, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I scam you out of your points. I had to check my comp science GCSE today. How'd you go? You had to. You had your exam. I use like 600 to test, yeah. Support of our direction. Did you pass your test? Okay, So there's two other things that an elevator has, right? Like obviously it's got a direction. I won't know till August. Yeah, but how do you feel about it, you know? Or you just don't want to think about it. You think it went okay, that's good. I feel like when you feel like in the middle, that's normally a good sign. You don't want to be if you feel too confident, that's a problem. But if you feel like completely destroyed and demoralized, that's even worse, right? Upgraded to 8 in one USB switcher, one keyboard to rule them all. 8. That's crazy. It's funny because I have like a Bluetooth keyboard. It's like a mechanical keyboard that is Bluetooth and 2.5. And I use that to switch between my work PC and my desktop. So I just switch, like I use the switcher to go from 2.5, which is on the computer, and Bluetooth on the regular keyboard. It was grade 9 or grade 2 with no in between. I don't know what that means though. A grade 9 or a grade 2? Is that like a good or a bad? Like either a pass or a fail? The grades go 1 to 9 and 9 is the best. Nice. Nice, nice. Well, I hope you will. I think you'll do. I have confidence in you. You hang out in my chat, so that must mean you're a smart guy. I think you need a 4 to pass. Okay. Okay. Bone Circuit, I don't know if you were at the start of the stream, but we are upgrading our elevators to be insanely modular. So we're going to direction. Because I became obsessed over the weekend. That's a true fact that I've seen in the stream. I'm the smartest in the class. There you go. Exactly. So the question is, do we call it floors or do we call it stops? I think stops is better because technically it can go left or right, like I said. So it's stops and it's an array. Stop. It's a stop list? I don't know. Nice. I call it installing coffee. Installing coffee. Awesome. Oh my god, an elevator goes left and right? Yeah, I know. Well, it's a moving platform, right? So I call it an elevator track. Maybe I should rename it to like a platform track. Maybe that's the key. Like maybe it's not elevator track, maybe it's platform track. You know what I mean? This is some Charlie and the Chocolate Factory shenanigans. Yeah, for real. Okay, stop list, which is just a node 2D. Right, but like we should add that as well as a child. It's a node 2D. Ah, man, I am like split on the naming of this. Stops. So I'm going to call this node stops. So that should be it. Why is this one cranky? There we go. List stops. This doesn't really need to be an export variable as well. Okay. Keeping it clean, keeping it clean. First stop, which is a node 2D right now because I haven't created the object, and export var last stop, so that we know when we've reached the end. Okay. So those are all the variables. Do we want to have a bool to say if it's reversible? Is it true by default? Yeah, probably. That at the top. Okay. I think I have all the things. So we need a new thingo. And this is a node 2D. This would be like a stop, a platform stop. And we are going to create a subclass for this. It's going to be a little bit more complicated. So stops, elevator stops, platform stops. Does it inherit node 2D? So if we want to have like ones that are automatically triggered when you step on them and ones that are automatically that you have to like press a button for or whatever, then like you need to have like a bare bones class that you can sort of inherit from for every different kind of one, because it depends on how it's triggered, right? So we can have, I guess it's definitely like a design choice to have either ones where you press the button versus ones where you just like, if you step on the button, it happens. Like, I wonder, like, because I've played plenty of 2D platforming and like Metroidvania games, and like normally there's both, but I guess the question is, like, it really could just be all like step triggers, right? I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Like, why have one or the other? I've never really given it much thought. Keep calling it elevator. I'm just going to copy and paste this. Can't be bothered. Lost it. Except I'm changing the name of it. Okay, elevator requested, request lever. Change that to a request stop. Floor position, we're going to change all the names because I've decided on the fly to just rename this instead of like stop. Success Potu, welcome to the stream. How's it going? So we've got stop position, we've got requested, we've got request elevator, and on request finished. Those are the basic functions for a platform stop, right? So that is literally it. It's just going to have those, and we can extend this out. And then this is going to inherit a platform stop. And we'll put this, I forgot to save the scene, but in the world, in elevator, in platform stop. What do we call this? This is a platform stop button. Why is it angry at me? Invalid name. Invalid inherited path or name. Okay, well, node 2D. Right, we'll do that for now. Did I not save the other one? God damn. Why is it so cranky at me? Last name. Platform stop button. Now, one of the differences between everything that I've looked at so far is that in this, the first time I did this, the button sort of like, it had 3 stages, right? Like when it was like available to be pressed, when you pressed it, and when it had arrived. Now, we kind of don't really need the one that like, I don't know. I think 2 is okay. We were going too crazy with it, you know? So where's that sprite? Actually, yeah, we do that. Yep. button. That button was way too, like, complicated. Make that in. And we give it just an easy little animation. I guess it's like 3 frames anyway. Why can't I change this? Oh, it's frame 0, H frames 3. My bad. Okay. And then it goes that. And then we just create an animation player for it. And we'll make this the waiting frame. Key that. Let's reset track. And then, well, let's think about our naming here. Just rename this to ready. So you can press the button when it's blue. No. Cold. Okay. Or is cold green? I don't know. What's better? And then we just need an interactable area, right? Probably like that. Something like that. What's the player on? Enemy. Oh, it's 2. It's mask 2. Okay. And then signals interacted. We go to the platform stop. Easy. And then we just call request elevator here. Right, but that doesn't do anything really on its own. So we have to actually, oh, we should probably rename those while I'm here correctly. So they should have like an underscore in front of it because it's meant to be overwritten. And then this, I think technically, if it's not meant to be, it's just like signal elevator requested emit. No, wait, no. Never mind. That is meant to be overwritten as well. Save that. Because those two things are going to do different things depending on the kind of platform it is. No need to use the terms, but conveyor and travelator might be good for universal names so you can free up elevator for other areas. I've already named it, I've called it platform, but like travelator and conveyor is fun. I like that. Okay, so what are we doing here? So if not requested, right? Then we're going to set requested to equal to true because we only request it one time. Kinematic track follower could work. Yeah, that's true. And then elevator requested. That emit self. Oh yeah, because I'm calling elevator requested here, which is not what I want to call it. I want to call it platform requested. Because we've just changed the name of this because it's a moving platform. But like, I guess what you're saying is like, yeah, that's kind of like still too general because well, let's get it working and then we can Maybe even cool custom class, which is for moving platforms that need to follow a path. Yeah, let's be specific. Well, I'll run with this, and if we need to change it, it's actually really easy to change later on. Abstraction goes brr, yeah. Platform requested not. It's your baby at the end of the day, yeah. It's still tough though, because like you want it to be clear, because I was calling it elevated. I even had the problem with the original name for the buttons was like, oh, what was it? Like a lever. And it was like, well, actually this represents the stop, because I've changed how it's going to like calculate that now. And so like, it really is, this component is the place where the platform will stop. And there's an area attached to that that's going to allow you to like request the platform to come to you, but like the main function is to get the platform to you, and also like have a stop position. You know what I mean? Platform requested doesn't exist. Okay, because I changed the name. It's all right. Happy days. Happy days. Okay, so we can do that. Do we want... And we've got an animation player, so let's just add an export of our animation platter. Everyone suffers with nomenclature. Have digital dictionary for synonyms. Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that. Like, you've just got a thing you can look up. It's a good idea. What's the name? What did I call it? Waiting. Requested, I think. We'll have to double check that. Okay. And then obviously we've got the function on elevator on platform request finished. Sorry, I'm checking my notes over there as well. I want to make a tutorial video on this, but I don't know if it's like very marketable. I don't know if people like want to know the ins and outs of creating like a good moving platform rather than just like one that automatically moves. I don't know. Animation player.play. I think it's called ready. My nomenclature is pretty bad. The states in my state machine all extend state machine state. Yeah. It's a bit like that. Mine are like that too. State machine and then it's state. I think I have state machine and then state, but I also have player state machine, enemy state. Actually, to be honest, I think enemy state machine and player state machine both use states. And then like, yeah, I don't know. But like, you know, it gets confusing when you start making big stuff. Requested. Okay, happy. Oh, we need to actually like make the structure of this because it's just a node right now. Platform stop. We've got hello, yes. Saad Marty, welcome. Hey bro, you're a big fan? Nice, I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome. How's your day going? Here we want to assign the animation player and the stop position, which is this marker 2D, which is going to represent like the platform stop. So this will be where the actual elevator or the platform stops. No worries, dude. And then press W on that, like generally around here somewhere. Who knows? It could be a good tutorial if you walk through the process of breaking down the problem into composable parts. Yeah, that's the idea. Like, just go through each one and explain like why you need it, because it's like, I feel like every beginner tutorial is just like, oh yeah, put a trigger area down and when they step on it, like move the platform, or like have just an automatically moving platform up and down without anything. So you just have to wait for it. Doors and conveyors are good tutorials for the basics. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a platform stop button, which should work. And then we've got an elevator track with the basics. It's still called elevator track in the world. Let's change that before we get too deep into it. And Godot does its thing. You know, it's so crazy to me that like, you know, 3 years ago, you couldn't rename shit like this without the entire game breaking. This was like a death knell. You're like, you're gonna break your project by renaming nodes. Do you have a pair of switches in the house that work on the same light? This is the other one of those. Sounds simple, but it has effort. Yeah, I bet you it does. Yeah, it's so funny. I have stories about that actually. When we were renovating our kitchen, we wanted to have a light for the kitchen at there's a door that like you can enter the house from there. It's like a side door. You can enter from there, you can enter from a hallway, and then you can enter from like the entrance. Those are the 3 ways that you can come into the kitchen. And I was like, I want to switch on every single one. And the electrician was like, mate, how much money do you have? I was like, what? He's like, yo, that's low-key really hard to do. And also the components are expensive. And so we settled to just do 2. and if you're in Australia, you know how much electricians cost. I didn't really like him much because I don't like it when people do that kind of thing to you. Like he could have just told me like, yeah, it's going to cost this much without like making it seem like a problem. I think that sounds lazy, but like, you know, it's really his prerogative. But yeah, type in the name of voice, please fix. What did I say? What is the video? I went too far with this. Wait, what is the title of the video actually? Because like I renamed it in YouTube Studio, but then it's called something else. Making a Metroidvania in Godot, I went too far with this, or is it just I went too far with this? Like, what is it actually showing up in YouTube? Thank you. See, yeah, I failed English, guys. Actually, that's not true. I got a B-. Done. Thank you for pointing out. Ninmojo, welcome. I am following the 4-year-old video on FPS Godot in 3.5. Yeah, okay. I don't even think those videos are that good, but if they're helpful, I'm happy for you. That was the golden age. I remember that. Like, I think about it sometimes. I'm like, how did I even get into like tutorial making? Like, I'm not like I'm not a professional, you know, like I just was doing it, but like no one was making videos for this kind of stuff at the time, or at least it felt that way. It's just like, I'm going to make videos for stuff that doesn't exist, or like I had to figure out on my own. But now like there's heaps of professionals. So I'm a bit of a fish out of water. Okay. I'm dawdling. Okay, we need an interactable area. Oh, we added that already. So we need to create a platform. That's what we don't have already. We need a platform. Or do we? No, we don't really. We could just cheat, actually. Go back to our original one. We've actually got all the ingredients here. A very basic platform, but we can just save this branch as a scene. World. Prop spikes, destructibles, elevator. Movable platform. Okay. And then go and then just reset the transforms on this. Okay, they are reset. And the other thing as well, we want to get rid of the interactable area on this because we're going to do that some other place. What is this? Interactable prompt. Oh, that's yeah, I know what that is. Delete that. It's literally just a platform. And so you can just bring that in. Chaff, do I statically type my arrays? Yes, I will. The reason I didn't before is because the object didn't exist yet. So this is going to be a platform stop, and this in here, stop list array is actually going to be an array of platform stops. So yeah, I like put down all the variables and I was like, I haven't created that yet. Because I guess like when you're working off notes, like you're putting in all the variables and it's like none of this exists. Okay, so we got the elevator stop. Now we can get the elevator track going. Well, there's a lot of code that's required here. But let's see if I can make this sort of a little bit more. I might just pop this out. It might be easier if I just copy and paste to get this going. But I renamed everything, so like that's going to be kind of annoying as well. We'll just have to work through it all one by one. So the first one is get floors, but actually it's going to be called get stops. And now it's like, this is a platform stop. And it's stop. What did I call it? Stop list? No, it's just stops. Nice. And then stop list is what this is. Oh, this is going to be like hella confusing actually. Platform requested. And then on platform requested is the platform. We got to add this function in. Where is it? Okay, maybe I might need to just type these out. Because it doesn't have like next floor. All right, so that's something as well that I haven't added this here, which is like current stop. We need to keep track of that. And this is a platform stop. And this is also for previous, right? What did I call it? Next and, oh, we got a next, but we don't have previous. Okay, next stop. I'm surprised I don't have previous. And these also, by the way, the first and the last is that. So current stop here gets set to start, which is that. We also need sort doors. Sort doors? That's a typo within my notes. Sort doors is meant to be sort floors. Like, what is this? Sort stop. Okay, we've got, this is just a really quick one. A position curve. Okay, so this as well. This has to be path2d.curve. So basically what we can do in order to make sure that the stops are in order regardless of their child is you can actually do the custom, like a custom sort for the array, which works out how far apart they are, get closest offset in terms of like their position in the path, which is pretty fun. Like this is a cool little trick. But it's cranky at that because it doesn't know. I'm guessing these are floats. Okay. Sort stop plural. A lot of red. Yeah, it is a lot of red. That's all right. Sort floors. Okay, this is stop list. It's the array. Okay. Happy. Elevator requested. Next stop equals underscore stop. And far floor position. Stop position. Get floor position. Okay, so we don't have these, and change elevator position. Okay. So while we're here, let's just make sure this is pretty basic. We're just looping through. So get, stop, get children, and then we're just appending it to the list, and connecting the signal on elevator requested. We can change that now to platform. And then we've got, obviously, we're sorting the list to make sure it goes in the correct order, and then we set the current stop to be the first stop. Do we, you know, I kind of think about this, like, I'm not even paying any attention to whether or not that's in the list. So should I, like, go if I is equal to current first stop, then first current stop equals first stop? I mean, technically I should work out which one's closest, because, like, theoretically it could be on anything. And, like, if you really wanted to get specky, you save the position so that when you re-enter the room it hasn't reset. I think that's also something, like, on a big to-do list, you know, like at the top here, as they say, save position of the track between rooms. We can reset it on save. It's not that big a deal. Although technically, if we're saving the position between rooms, then we can save it when we save it. And on save. Maybe set an exported variable for initial stop, and if it's just a null, have the first stop be in the list. Yeah. Oh yeah, just be 0. Like, if that. Yeah, that's true. So then I guess you could say that, like here, you could say if current stop, if it never gets found, so exported variable initial stop. And if it's null, just have it get the first. Oh yeah, okay. Yes. If not first stop, no, there needs to be one. Otherwise it won't know when to turn around. I don't know. It works, trust it. The system worked already. I'm just trying to name it correctly. And there's some things to think about because this is a big project versus, like, the template that I set up is like a self-contained thing that I don't have to think about any of that stuff with, like how this works on a whole. Like, it's like, yeah, we can just run this and we don't have to worry about any of those things. Like, there is no other room that this guy can go to. You know what I mean? Like, he just goes, oh. You don't move with the platform. And then he can request it back. So, like, there's some things that we're going to have to, like, pay special attention to, but other than that, the system is, I think, pretty good. I think. I could be wrong. I guess I'll find out as I work with it more. Okay. So let's go through this as well. Stop position, get floor position. We need to add these. Next stop, next floor. Let's just rename that. Next floor. Stop pause. Okay. So we need get floor position. Pretty basic one. Everything is computer. Elevator stop, platform stop. It'd probably be easier if I just, like, go in my other project here and then just go, like, search replace in files and find elevator stop and replace with platform stop. No undos. Should we just YOLO that? Should we just YOLO that? Search, replace elevator and replace with platform. Okay. Could not find platform stop in the current scope. Okay, so this needs to be path, right? Path 2D. What's it cranky about? Floor not declared. There you go. Floor position is also doesn't exist. It's stop position. Path 2D not declared? What the hell? Okay. Stop position. Stop position. Okay, so get stop position. Happy days. Change elevator position. This is change platform position. And this is like the main one, right? Yeah, it is. The main function. Should it be at the top? So it stops. Do I put it? I reckon I put it at the top because it's like more important. And it needs a platform tween because this is all tweens. No animation player. Or delta. I refuse. Duration, get duration, tween property. Okay, so this is the other thing as well. Path follow 2D. It's not what it's called. It's just called path follow. Change it. Progress, position, duration. On platform finished. Right, so we just need to get duration. Get duration is pretty easy. Get duration is another one that's gonna break technically because it doesn't have some of the variables. So this is path 2D. And then there's no speed declared. I suppose this is an export variable, isn't it? A bunch of people here today? Oh, Kara, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a bit. How is things going for you? I can't speak. Okay. Work is bad. That sucks. Yeah, it's never good. My work has been super boring lately. I'm ready to quit. Yeah, it can be a bit like that. When everything started happening in the Middle East, I was like, am I gonna lose my job? Because like our work is dependent on vehicles. So like if the vehicles can't drive, then I don't think my company survives, right? And I'm like, maybe I lose my job. Maybe I get a redundancy. And like I felt good about that. It's like, what does that say about you? I just took a client that had to have a better portfolio with an active project. Okay, nice. Are they mean though? New duration. Okay, so now it just wants on platform finished. They don't understand what's going on in their own application. Yeah, that sounds annoying. Yeah, that cannot be good. Just throwing money at it and doing any kind of work being involved in it all. And it's all money from their father. Holy shit. I was like, yeah, companies be doing that sometimes. And then it's like, nah, this is not. Ouch. Next stop, current stop. On platform request finished. Check direction. It's a company, it's just a terrible one. Yeah. I've worked for some terrible ones too. Check direction not found. That's okay, we're about to put it in. Yeah. Does anyone hear a small amount of static in the audio? Sometimes it does happen. My audio equipment is very old. Let me check it. We can fix it. But I have to like do an audio check myself. Which means I need to listen to the actual audio. I hate it because it gives you a delay. I don't know if that's going to come through. Connect the Bluetooth to the tablet. Play. Yeah, no, there's something going on there. Yeah. I've seen this before. So it's like in the music, actually it's a new problem that's only been starting to happen this year. But yeah, because it's like specifically with the playback on the audio interface. But I'll do a reset. Let me just mute the audio and pray it added a rhythm layer. Okay, hold. Okay. Let me just put this back in. Sparky couldn't. Definitely not a game dev. No. Okay, music. Okay, the music's back, but do I sound funny? I sound funny now. Yeah, it's definitely a problem with the interface, and it's not a filter. Like I'm definitely not running a filter on my voice to make my sound more manly. It's definitely not what's happening here. It's not a filter, I promise. We'll do another reset and pray. If not, maybe I'm just going to have a high voice. How do I sound? Oh, we're back to normal. Yeah, I plugged the filter back in. Okay, but this is the music work. Yeah, it's back to normal. My damn YouTube app covers the text with the keyboard when it's on. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. We need to check direction. Check direction. Okay, well this is just going to take like a million things. Oh, the music just got louder. What the hell? Now it's just working, yeah. Okay. Oh, maybe that's all right. Because I got it down on your end as well. Okay. Okay, let's lock back in. Lock the hell back in. We've got stores, floors, and stops. Gonna run anyway. To be honest, just wanted to come say hi. No worries, dude. I'll see you around. LF_stop. Hopefully I'll quit soon. Just start charging them extra. And worst case scenario, you just get a little bit of extra money. Start, stop, not declared. Oh, it's first stop. Direction backwards. Oh yeah, I dropped an S. I'm only charging them for like 12 hours a week and I don't have time to do any free time because I'm billing them so much less than I'm working. Damn, that's crazy. Get up those numbers. That's what people do here. They just charge you more if they don't want to do the work. They don't say no. They just say it'll cost ya. Where the hell am I trying to get to? I got too much stuff open. Okay, so we've got check direction. And all of a sudden, everything just is in. But I don't know if I've got all of the functions. Sort stops on platform requested. Yeah, not really though. I kind of just needed the lowest paying clients so that I would have healthcare. Oh yeah, yeah. First world problems. We design everything, $500. You design, we watch, 5,000. Classic. On platform requested. This is an unsafe, untyped declaration. Stop pause. It's a flow. Okay. So we've got get floors, sort doors. Change position. That is change platform position. On elevator requested. I worked for $6 an hour once for quite a while. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on where you're at in life and or like your situation. I don't think I'd work for less than $50 an hour, but that's like Australian. So you just got to halve that number. 25. But I'm very privileged. Now I don't know what I don't know what I'm missing. I'm gonna have to go through these. So we've got get floor, sort door, get next floor. Do we have get next? Get duration. Get next floor is not in the scope. Floors is not, that's okay, it's stop list. Stop list. I got a warning? Oh, nice, you're making $50 an hour right now, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's a livable, I mean, in today's day and age, because like things are so expensive, it's kind of ridiculous. That's by your math, yeah, just divide everything by 2. It's not exactly that because with the current global situation, the Australian dollar gets a lot stronger. I'm kind of hoping for my personal benefit, not for yours, that the Australian dollar gets back to parity. During the financial crisis in 2008, the Australian dollar was at parity with the USD, and it just makes everything in Australia like really cheap. Because when our dollar is as good as yours and our wages are like way higher, it does make for like very cheap purchases. So you can import stuff for like nothing. Go sleep. Go sleep. We're at 73. Maybe we'll get there. Parity chant.
3.141592.
Where's like this was like peak. This like 2005 to 2008 is so good, man. I was like, I bought a guitar. I was buying stuff on eBay from the United States for like nothing. Mustafa, hey. I thought it was at parity. I remembered that. Yeah. It was so good, and then it's normal for it to be like the other way around. Oh, here it's at parity. So I'm looking at it the other way around. So here it's at parity. This is not. This is like 157. I thought that was kind of strange. I was like, I don't ever remember it being double. But yeah, down here, this is parity. So this time here, this is when I was at university, and it was just like, man, so sweet. And it didn't last for long because it's much more normal for it to be around here. That's intentional. Because we're a net exporter, so we want our dollar to be a little bit cheaper than USD. The Milky Bar kid was in control. Yeah, it was a good time. Especially, I think back then we were probably importing a lot from the United States versus, and now we import a lot more from China. Goosefat, welcome to the chat. You've dropped the pi, 3.141592. I can only get to 3.14. Okay, we're dawdling. What's next? We got get next floor, chain flat. We got that one. Go to next floor. Do we have that already? Go. Whoa, that's in. I live in China? Nice, dude. That is the place to be. Or unless you don't like it, then sorry. I don't know. I think China's really cool. I went there a long time ago, in 2014, and I really enjoyed my time there. Too many arguments for get the go to next stop. Hang on. Wait, why is that calling itself? This is get next stop. And there must be one that I didn't. Oh, we'll worry about that in a second. Current stop. Stop pause. Get floor position not found in base self. That's okay. It should be called get stop position. And then change platform position. It does exist. Invalid argument function. Argument should be a float, but it is platform stop. Next stop, but this is stop pause. I went there specifically for a game dev career, but it's just as hard everywhere else, with the added bonus of the hardest language in the world. Yeah, I guess that's true. I suppose if you're not from China, maybe it's a lot more difficult. You know? I would, like, when I was younger, I would have, like, 100% taken a job if I had the opportunity. but I did not. There was a couple of guys that I knew. I worked down under on Japanese titles. The honorifics killed me. Oh my god. Oh yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it's something that I actively think about as well, because I've like strongly considered like moving to Europe and Italy specifically. And even there, like, things are different. And the Australian way of life is very casual, and they are not. And so it's like, am I going to survive? Like, people care about what you wear. You know? Here, I could show up to work, I like in jeans and a polo, and I'm an accountant. You know? Change platform. Next. Okay, go to next stop. Have we got flip direction? Yeah, don't go. I have traveled into those game servers. They suck. I mean, I've been to Italy a lot because my wife is from there, but I like it. But yeah, it's one of those things that I can't, like, it's hard to do. Like, the finances don't make sense because, like, Australia is just so much better. So it's like, okay, it's something I like because it's a very beautiful place. But yeah, I wonder what happens if you tried to gift a sub to a streamer instead of a viewer. I don't know. Isn't it random? Like, when you gift a sub, you don't get to choose who it goes to. You'll end up in Romania on $3 an hour. Nah, I'd be alright. It won't be that bad. I'll go to Malta. You can choose or it's random. Oh, okay. But like, what are you trying to do? Gift me a sub to myself? Or gift me a sub to yourself? Switzerland is also good. There's good wages there. The saddest thing is there's no such thing as Godot developer job title right now. Yeah, for Unity and Unreal, it's booming up. So I want to be ready for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hopeful that one day, maybe when I'm like 50. So in like 15 years. God, 15 years until I'm 50. Yeah. Godot will be like something people will look for in a job application. Okay, we got flip direction. On interactable, interacted. Okay, yeah. You can choose or it's random. Wait, I call it the Unity wave because it tied with the mobile explosion. Yeah, true. On area, on elevator, this is what I want to call this. I actually want to be, this is different because like on the example project, I've just got the interactable area as a signal here, but I actually don't want that because I want this to be working with any kind of trigger. So like on elevator, platform, request. No, okay, well, let me think. So also elevator, we're not using that word anymore. So this is going to be when you stand on the elevator and you want it to move rather than when you press a button. On next stop requested. Okay. And then we can say, we have to do stuff like if platform tween dot is, if it needs to exist, otherwise this doesn't work. If platform tween dot is running and not reversible and not reversible, does that work? And reversible? Then current floor equals next floor. Current stop equals next stop. And we're going to flip the direction. Else, we're going to go to next floor. Go to next stop. Sweet. Okay. My mouse ran out of batteries. That's a bummer. I guess stream's over. That's so funny. I think I have another. I have a cabled mouse. Hang on. Where will that be? I can't even do it. Don't relate. Wait, what? Forget engines as an AI wave? No fucking. Okay, so wait, I missed some chats. There were new waves. I suspect the new 4-stream cubes will revitalize things. At least you can target the smallest cube and that decent specs to deploy. Forget the engines as an AI wave, and thank God gamers and devs both hate it when AI is used for art. Yeah, just concepts and don't rely. Okay. Wind up with. Agent Froggy is back. Welcome. I'm trying to find a mouse. Check this out. A pink. This is my wife's mouse. I bought it for her, but I don't think she uses it. It's pink. It's also wireless, but I'm assuming it's got enough battery in it to pass through. A moment of truth. Bad news. But it's battery powered, so I should just be able to put a battery in it. I got the original battery. Wired mouse, yeah, I need to. I do have one, but I don't know where it is. It's a total mess. Is the mouse moving? I don't think it is, right? I can't even see it on the screen. This is not good. It's Bluetooth, that's why. The dog shit wireless. I mean wired mouse. The ultimate backup. The one that I keep around, not because I like it, because sometimes you just need a mouse, you know? I just gotta pull it out of this case of cables and shit, you know? AI for research? I don't even use it for that. I feel like we recently got access to like AI at work, and it's alright, like, but I'd rather just like some things that I think it's really good for. Say for example, because like at the end of the day, the way I look at it is like it's a text machine, so it's really good for text. And so like part of my job is reading contracts, and so like say I'm trying to find a specific part of the contract, because contracts are really big. I'll say, can you highlight on the contract where it talks about the security deposit, and then it'll say, yep, page 6, section 4, whatever, section 4D, and and then I can just be directed to that, and then I can read that. Like, that is what it's actually really good for, because if I was to try and find that section myself, I would have to like scroll through the contract until I found that section, found a thing that I thought looked like it, then read it, make sure it's actually talking about that. Whereas the AI can just be like, yeah, mate, just right there. You should look into a product called Google Notebook LM. What is that? Sounds cool. Okay, we're back with the shittiest mouse known to man. But everyone's got to have a shitty last ditch backup mouse, and that is what we're using right now. Okay, we're back. Okay, I forgot we got on stop requested. We're getting pretty close to having this like fully make targeting points in large data easy. Nice. I think I've got everything I need, right? On platform finished. On interactable area, so on next stop requested, check for get duration. There's 2 on platform requested. I think I've already got that though, right? On platform requested, sweet. Notebook LLM is crazy though. The podcast feature is cool as fuck. I gotta look this stuff up because I'm kind of curious. Think smarter, not harder. Is it made by Google or nah? Google Notebook LM. Notebooklm.google. And then what? Okay, so it like just helps you find stuff, which is what I'm. Nice. Yeah, because I think like you have to just recognize what it is and then utilize it for those advantages. Rather, like, I don't really like asking it questions. Like, I was putting it through its paces now that we have access to it, like, in a working environment. So it's like, okay, now I can ask it, like, technical questions about, like, accounting standards, specifically what I deal with, which is, like, IFRS 16, which is all about, like, finance leases. And it's like, we're having an argument, and I think that this particular lease is not a finance lease. And it's like, yeah, you're technically correct, but this section here says this. And I'm like, the way that it's speaking to me is always trying to tell me that I'm correct, kind of thing. I don't know, like, it's kind of weird. Like, you can make it say that you're right no matter what. And I don't like that. Stand for something, AI. Use Notebook LM instead of traditional LLM. I'm forced to use Copilot at work. I don't get a choice. But yeah, this could be good for other stuff. Like if you had front-facing web interfaces, LLMs, a system prompted for general hell to jump general hell, yeah. Mate, find it funny. I pull a laptop apart without asking the teacher in math. Special ed doesn't ask and doesn't seem to care. Just ignoring you. Doesn't want to disturb the class. On platform request finished is not inferred. Is it not? It's not. It has an underscore in front of it. Using AI for checking stats about your game genre. Yeah, similar titles that have been released. It's really good before you start a project. Highly underrated, like checking Steam databases. Yeah. Only 6 students. I guess it's special ed, right? Okay. Okay, so I think I'm good, like in terms of the platform track. We've got everything we need. We just need the trigger. We made the trigger. We got the platform. Let's see if we can set this up now in the game and start troubleshooting, because I'm sure I'm going to have issues with it. It's the old elevator. We want, let's delete some of this stuff. I probably want to keep those open. Whatever. Oh well. Player. animation tree is a bit cooked because we were demonstrating something. So this needs to go to 0. And then we need to turn off that and turn off the turn on the left arm. Okay. All right. We want level 2. So facility 2 is where there is an elevator. You know what though? We could put one in level 1 to make things easy for myself. This is the playground at the moment, so let's just put it in the playground. No 2D. Platform. Is it moving platform or platform? I guess. Whatever. Okay, so now we can actually go to the platform, which is called elevator. Let's rename that right now. Okay, so we have got the platform track. We drag that in here. Chap, since Aussies have easy access to New Zealand, would you say it's as decent as Australia for postgraduate life, master's part-time work, because Europe is much more saturated and populated? I can't really speak for New Zealand because I've never lived there. I've never even been. It's a very beautiful country, for sure. And the people are super friendly. I can only tell you that because where I live, there are tons of people from New Zealand living here, but most people, I mean, I guess like there's a brain drain from New Zealand. A lot of people from New Zealand come to Australia because like it's just the wages are higher. Like the standard of living is a little bit higher in Australia. It's a little bit easier to get by if you don't have like, I think like when you're starting out, Australia is a lot better. I don't know that for sure. It just seems to be the no jobs. Yeah. Lots of racism, drug problem, expensive housing. I mean, that's true for both countries. Drug problem. That's true for both countries. I guess it depends where you live. Racism. That's true for both countries. It doesn't sound like New Zealand. It depends on what you class as racism, really. I think both countries, I mean, you know, like Western style countries are kind of like that, you know? To make this editable children, right? And then we just can add the platform, the movable platform to the child. But we don't have a Kiwi bird. You're right, we don't. And to the remote transform. So the thing that I forgot is that we don't want to update position or scale for this. And then its transform is 0. Okay, remote path. And do we? No, yeah, I don't think we really want to pass on rotation. So position, okay. Happy days. We assign that to, we have to scroll through the entire game project. Yeah. Chinese racism is also a thing. Yeah. Yeah, actually 100%. They're more curious about your background rather than being an ass about it. It's also really friendly. Yeah, I think it's the same. Like, you're never going to find, I think, I talked to my wife about it. She's not, she's Italian, but I think I would describe Australia's problem is more like a little bit xenophobic. It's very subtle. It's not like super in your face. It's more like people don't want to talk to you, or it's like oftentimes like I'll just have to do a lot of the interactions because people can be very cold, I guess you would say. And that's like, it's not really like, you can definitely get by, and it's not aggressive and it's not violent, but it does make your life a little bit harder. You know what I mean? And same, like when I was in China, I couldn't get a taxi. No one wanted to pick me up. Probably because they didn't want to have to try and deal with the language barrier. And that's the same in Australia. People just don't want to have to deal with it, and so they just avoid it. And so like, yeah, no one's going to try to kill you. You know what I mean? But getting a taxi, man. It's called platform. Or like, I remember when I went to Thailand with my family, my brother, the lady was like touching him. Like the tour guide wanted to touch him, and it's like, that's really inappropriate. But it was like, oh, he's a white guy. It's like, I guess. But it's fun. I guess it's different when it comes from a place of curiosity. Like that would be really inappropriate. The reverse would not be acceptable. But like, you know, that's just life, isn't it? Path follow. But there is no path right now. So say like the bottom of the path is here, and the top of the path is here. Out of all the English-speaking countries in terms of friendliness, even though I've never been there, Australia's got to be better than the UK and Canada. I wouldn't know because I haven't been to either of those countries. And I think like the dynamic is reversed. Like if I meet somebody from the UK in Australia, they're always going to be friendly. You know? Is that in the middle of the... Is that in the middle? Is it? I can't tell. Are we a couple pixels off? There we go. 432. I did the big Europe circuit. We are very friendly down under in comparison. I think it also depends where you're from. Like, I actually think Australia is a lot more diverse than people think. Like, in Queensland, I don't think people are super friendly. You know what I mean? It's not like the typical thing here. What the hell? Don't loop. Okay, so we've got a platform track, we've got the path follow, and now we just need to add the stops. So we add one here. Stop. Possible ban evader. Best viewers. Well, now you are banned. Platform stop button. And then you put this in stops, and then you make editable. What if all conveyors, travelators, elevators are secretly a vehicle class? Dude, that's like the in World of Warcraft where the train is just a mouse. Also, random thing, chap. You and Bitlick, other Godot YouTuber, thanks for always being helpful. Interactive compared to others, especially on stream. Common decency goes a long way. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's kind of if I'm not interacting with you guys, what's the point? You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely know what you mean. Like, there's a lot of people that don't do that. Now, platform stops. Now, the trick is that this stuff needs to actually sit above the line so that the platform itself will always sort of go to that. Also, I want to change this, and also let's just bring this down so it sits on 0, 0. So that way when the platform is moving, it's like actually like it's gonna be at the base, so then we know that like the base is gonna sit there, and that's where it's gonna go to. Actually, you know what? I said that. Let's be sensible. It should sit below, shouldn't it? Not above. Hello. Should be here. like this, so that when we say where it's going to go, we know that that's where it will sort of land. Okay, happy days. Go back to this, and I'm sure that this is sitting below where we need it to now. We sort of want to set this like about here, so about 2 pixels up. Path follow 2D. Okay, so the path is what we want to change, and we want that to be 2 pixels up. There we go. Is our game on Steam? Is the game on Steam? Not yet. And probably won't be for some time. I need to like finish this alpha build and start pushing this out as like a demo, and then get feedback on that, and then we'll see. We'll see. If the feedback's bad, I might just bin the game. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of spending another year on something if people don't like it? If I think it can be improved, or whatever, or if I feel like there's no interest, you know, all of those things, you have to sort of like weigh them up, and then either do something or move on, I think. Okay, so we've got a stop here, and we want to add a stop at the bottom. You need to put a stop even at the top and the bottom of this, otherwise it'll never go. It doesn't matter how long the path is, it requires a stop to tell it that here you should stop. Editable children. Grab this little guy here and move him basically where the stop at the bottom is. I don't know. Okay. And then we need one at the top as well. Editable children. I mean, honestly, we could probably get away with not changing the position. It doesn't technically have to line up with the path. I just like to have it line up with the path. And then also you need to like line it up with actually where you want it to stop, which is about here. Okay. So realistically, that's all we need. We just need a trigger point now. So we actually have triggers in our game, and we want it to be either a child of the platform or a child of the path follow 2D. Got too much stuff open. Let's go back down here. We get this, and okay, so we need a, yes, we need an interactable. What do we call them? They're called interactables, right? Interactable. So we put an interactable here, we add a collision shape. Make it a square. Okay, and then this, what we can do is just change it to mask for the player, and then signal. So basically how we're going to have to run this together, I think if you go to signals here and you say interacted and you choose your platform track, and then you go and you pick the thingo. Could you talk about pixel sizes in your game? What res? Okay, yeah, I can do that because I do know. Script methods only, compatible methods only. Oh, interesting, because this passes the player character. So on next step requested, and then I guess advanced. Can we like do interactable without it? Interact without that? Connect? What happens when you do that, I guess? We just assume that this always comes with the player, but what if it didn't? It's a player character. I guess we can just say node 2D. On next stop requested. Okay. Pixel sizes. So, the pixel size in my game is actually pretty flexible. We are running with an assumption about the resolution, right? So, got too many games, too many levels. If I just pick a random one and it loads, the window size can be any size. So right now it's 819 by 54. If I change the size of this, it will always change the size to be like the same pixel density, no matter how I change the resolution. And what I'm using is a camera system. So I've got a camera in here, camera rig, and we're actually using zoom instead of, so if you go and have a look at, where is it? Offset zoom 4.88. So anytime the window changes, we change the zoom. So if I do this, changes to 3.07. And that way we have like a set size of pixel, right? So I think it's set, is it set in the camera rig? Target position, zoom modifier, vertical delta, desired pixel height. So there's a set pixel height, which is 180, and the width can be anything. So it can fit to any width of screen, but the pixel height is always going to be 180. So there is some consistency there that is required for this technique, I guess. But what it allows you to do is sort of have more smooth camera movements. And if I wanted to, technically, I could have a, and you can see like in the 3D, like these all move smoothly, but the 3D doesn't. And that's because the 3D doesn't have that same kind of effect on it yet. Dynamic camera zoom, how the fuck? It's not that complicated, but it's better than, I think, it's better than going into the window and saying like your viewport height and width to be like 180 and however that, I think it's 320 by 180 is actually the height. So 320 by 180 would be the height of the game. But I didn't want to do that because if you want to change the width, so like when I talk to this guy, I want the camera to zoom in. Now, if you have a set pixel height and width in the project, that isn't possible. So we can do this and zoom in a little bit. It didn't look very good. I don't know why, but like see the in and out of that? I think there was like some kind of snapping there. That cannot be done on the typical way that people will tell you to do it. And so if you actually instead set a camera zoom, then it is possible. And you can also just change these numbers. Obviously it messes up the 3D. You have to like move them in sync. Otherwise the background doesn't stay where it's supposed to be. But like in theory, I could zoom all the way out. I can zoom all the way in. I can get really close if I wanted to. Or you just set it back to work. Anytime the camera changes, that gets set back to the correct figure. So yeah, 180 by 320, which means like it's your typical SNES style resolution. Might even be NES. It's pretty small. I think it's the same as what Celeste uses. 320 by 180. People asking in the Reddit, is it too low? It's a common canvas size for pixel games. I don't want to click Reddit on stream. I'm too worried. I'm not like, you're right. It's safe. But yeah, too small for what? There's thousands of games running in Pico 8, which is 128 by 128. Yeah, so it's a pretty normal size. The character is 20 pixels tall, I think. 20 by 16. The canvas is 32 by 16, but like he's just not that tall. Right, moment of truth. We forgot to set it up properly. This is always the case. That's okay. Okay, so if we go back to the platform track, we haven't set the path follow 2D, which we need to do. I don't know why that's not set by default. Oh my god, path follow 2D. Direction is forward. The first stop, platform stop. And these go in order, so I think I can just I can type those. They're not typed. Platform stop. First stop is a platform stop. I don't know why it gave me so many options. It should just hide. Anyway, let's try that again. Now that we've set up all the variables. Invalid stop, next stop. Okay, so something is... Oh, you know what? I'm not calling anything in the ready, right? That is something that we forgot here. In the ready function, we actually have to like initialize everything. How are we doing that now, the project? That's alright. So we're just calling get floors. Which is just going to be called get stop in this one. Floor position. Invalid access to key or floor position. Okay, that's fine. Go back to script. Stop position. Okay, so we need to like get rid of all the floors. Search, find 2 of 5. Get next stop. Next stop. I just gotta do this manually so that I know what I'm seeing change. Get next stop. Stop. We're not using platform stop in this at all? We were. We're not anymore. I remember this now. I guess I can remove that. When deleting enemies and objects, you're just using Q3 on parent nodes or something else. I think it's call deferred. We can have a look. Okay, it's not crashing, but nothing is happening. Got some debug. Request platform animation not found requested. That's all right. Okay. Okay, when deleting enemies, I believe it's very basic at the moment. It's not like a super complicated system. So we've just got the enemy, when it dies, on health container, get tree, velocity, timer, damage taken, play death effect. Here we go. So we instantiate the death effect, which is just like whatever you want, but it's like a red splatter. Then we put that in, we call deferred new effect, and then we spawn currency. I don't even know, when do we kill off the enemy? That is actually kind of interesting. Play death effect. Okay, so on health container, health is 0. Yeah, we put some camera feedback in so the camera shakes. We emit the defeated signal, so that basically gets added to the list. The enemy gets added to a list of enemies that have been defeated, so they don't respawn unless you save the game. And then when you play death effect, and then you just queue free. So I'm not even deferring it. I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm just queuing free. So you just take in the direction. I just take in the direction so that when I play the death effect, we can send the coins in a certain direction depending on where you are. The player, I mean. That didn't trigger, and I don't know why. No worries. A cheeky print. A cheeky print. I'll probably start using breakpoints. Okay, so we are actually getting that signaled, so that's good. We're just not actually getting go to next stop to do anything. Go to next stop, yada, 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 change position. Okay, so I guess we've got to ask the question, if we're getting to this, where are we going? Like, why isn't it working? Duration. Okay, so position. So we're going to the next 351. Maybe it's a problem with the transform. Because it's below the floor. Get duration. Train process physics. Ease in. Progress. Path follow 2D. Progress. Pause duration. Train finish connect on platform. Yeah, I would say that's fine. I don't know why it wouldn't move to the next platform then. Maybe it's because the path is below the ground. Could be a reason. Let's just put it above the ground and see what happens. Oops. We are not moving. Sir, we are not moving. Ah. Now, when I actually move the path follow progress thing, it does move, so I don't know. I don't know about that. Path track, path follow plus platform stops, and then we've got the platform which is getting moved. Sync to physics is ticked, which is what we want. Interesting. Interesting, very interesting. Don't know. Why don't we turn on visible collision shapes? I just want to see if the area 2D moves, because it's a part of this. Oh, the speed is set to 0. I betcha. No, the speed is set to 64. Actually, I could already answer this question for myself because you can like continuously press it. Huh. So the tween is getting triggered. Go to next stop. Next stop, like we know that the position was also like 315 or something like that. Like that made sense. Unless the duration is like 0. Like I guess there's the other thing that I haven't checked yet. So like, let's just run through that and see if it calculates anything. I didn't actually check to see what the return result on that was. So we got that breakpoint. This is so annoying. Like, you can't do it this way unless you do it on 2 screens, but we don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to jump into this. New duration starts off at 4. Total duration, total length is null. Total length is 361. The start point is 360. Okay, that doesn't seem right. The end point is 348. Gotta head to class. Have a good day. Have a good night. Enjoy your class. Distance. 12. It still should be moving, right? Even though these start points and end points look wrong. Duration is 0.2. I guess it's pretty slow. A gym scene would save you a lot of time and effort here. When you have two elevators side by side, there's another conundrum to manage. What would be the conundrum with two elevators side by side? Duration is too slow. Aha. Platform stop 2 is the first platform. Why can't I assign it to platform stop 2? Allowed platform stop. Excuse me? What? I don't want to influence your method of working. I should abstain from those comments. I'm kind of curious though, like what? Side by side, what would happen? I think the thing is, like, you're right. Although I would consider this my gym, this first level. But at the same time, okay, position 250, new duration. Finished a start point. We haven't set that yet. The start point is 168, so we still not quite right. Like, why is the start point there? But the new duration is 0. No, new duration is 1.2. Look how the resolution got all messed up. Game objects, platforms, platform track. Constants, forward, backwards. Huh. What have I missed here? It's funny. I swear to God, every time it's like I did this 3 times already. And now I get on stream and I can't get it to work off rip. How embarrassing. Path follow 2D, path 2D, platform stop 2, platform stop 3, I assume. Yeah. Actually. Go remote. Game objects, platforms, platform track. Next stop, platform tree is null. Okay, current stop. That's not really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the stop list. Platform 2. Multiplayer authority, speed 64, direction forward. Go, 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 go. Go to next stop. Platform 20 doesn't give you any information. I'd really like to know like how long it's supposed to take. I've cooked something. A golden rule, always make 2 or 3 of the same thing when developing said new thing into a gym, private scene for battle testing. You can then approve the gym to integrate. Yeah. You know what I need to do in order for it, like a gym to be possible, because it's not really at the moment, because if you start a scene, the game doesn't know where to put the player, because game start relies on there to be a player character, right? So if you click when you load the player character in, it probably needs to be a backup. So we call this function player character location, yada yada yada, but I think if you click regular, so if I click this button here, which is just like run the single scene, the player won't load. So if I run current scene, which is what you'd need for like just doing this in a single, it's not going to change the outcome, but like there's no player because there's no player. The game still runs just fine. It just doesn't have one. And the reason for that is because in the game start, I don't think there is anything to call that function, right? Game state. So when you are, what's it called? Load player. Load player scene, add player in scene, or whatever. So in order for this to be called, because it's called in a lot of different locations, add player in scene, save state, game over, load game from menu, right? And new game from menu. In the ready function, because this is a singleton, so it gets loaded up no matter what, right? So we just need a way for it to know the difference. So we've got the game state and like the override, like all these other, you know, BS that you need to, and the second one as well for some reason. That's kind of weird. It may be counterintuitive to how you're cooking things. Stick to your procedure if you're okay with it. Place 2 elevators next to each other, and how here would be acceptable. It's just, yeah, like it's not necessarily a bad idea, because like for testing it will make it easier to test out a single level if I can just load into it. But yeah, I do understand why it's not possible. So I think the thing would be probably not on the ready function here. There's going to be a way to test that. Right. If it's not a new game. In the ready function, we could see if it's the menu. There probably needs to be like, rather than actually starting the game, rather than this being like, it's like you start the game and then the game state loads up the menu rather than the menu just being a part of it. I don't know. You have to think about the structure. Maybe make the game state not a singleton. I don't know. Thoughts, but yeah, it's not going to change the outcome of it. This is still cooked. I guess you could test if in engine. Something like that. Anyway, I just looked at the time. It's pretty late. I gotta go. Which is annoying because this doesn't work, and I'll probably just figure it out on my lunch break or something. Oh well. Off to go read some contracts. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be back. Have a good day, have a good night, afternoon, whatever it is.